All right, man. I thought that Lavar might come out when I seen the headline and say, you know what? I don't want LaMelo to play for the Detroit Pistons. But he come out and says that, hey, the Warriors ain't a good fit for my son. So let's talk about that. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. I think a nice amount of people that I encountered in the social media department want LaMelo Ball. All right, you got some people who don't. Hey, it is what it is, right? I think Troy Weaver would do a great job of making the right choice, I would hope. But let's talk about LaVar Ball not wanting the Warriors to draft his son. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. So all that needs to be done at this point is us get high enough to get this kid. You know, and basically he says that, you know, they got players like him. He got Steph Curry, they got Klay Thompson. He don't need to sit and learn. And he right. At the end of the day, LaMelo could come in and take Draymond's dream spot and be the facilitator because Klay and Steph are so good off the ball. But also one thing that Draymond brings is defense, and LaMelo, you know, he's not going to be one of those dudes that come into the league and just be a great defender. You know, Draymond is willing to do the little things, especially in the beginning, you know, to be great. And that's kind of a sign of a good player, a player that's able to adjust their game to do, you know, the things that need to be done. I mean, Chris Bosh, he went from a 2010 guy, and with Miami, he sacrificed his game for a championship to do rebounds and do the dirty work. And not every guy's, you know, willing to do the dirty work. And I'm not saying LaMelo isn't, but at that point, you know, Draymond can give you some minutes at the 4. You know, in some situations, he gives you some minutes at the 5. I mean, Klay can give you some minutes at the 2, 3. He probably give you some minutes at the 1. LaMelo can give you some minutes at the 3, the 2, the 1. But at the end of the day, you still got Wiggins out there. You're right. It just won't be a good fit. LaMelo is a dude that need to be pushing the ball, facilitating. He just like Trey. He just like Luka. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the guard that he is. And I think his shooting will get better. People talking about he didn't shoot well in over there in Australia, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That might be a reason for that. He wasn't over there getting consistent big minutes as well neither. So, like I said before, that helps us out a lot. You know, I don't know where Troy Weaver evaluates LaMelo, you know, on the drafting scale, because CBS think he the clear #1 pick. Some people like Anthony Edwards. Think about Anthony Edwards, I don't like, is that he's 6'5". You know what I'm saying? He's a strong kid, but it's something about his game that's just missing to me. Shot selection not that good. And at the end of the day, I just feel as a Piston fan, we can sign Malik Beasley at the 2 spot, and we can get a lot of production out of him. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. I think he a diamond in the rough that's just looking to be brushed off and refined a little bit. So, you know, me, I like the pack to get LaMelo, but I'm not knocking if they don't get LaMelo, because the draft is so deep. You got a kid from France that had an injury that fell in the draft. You got another kid from Iowa State that's pretty good. Killian is pretty good. Cole is pretty good. I mean, you could just keep going on and on. You got the kid from Michigan State, Cassius Winston. They got him going at the bottom of the 1st round. So you got point guards all over. Tyrese Maxey, a combo guard from Kentucky. And the Pistons are in a position where they can get the best player available. They also can go up there, and like I said, I made a scenario before I finished on LaMelo where the Pistons could draft Obi Toppins and try to trade with Golden State and take a pick and take Draymond contract and give some like Luke Kennard or maybe Derrick Rose or something and get their #1 pick in return, and maybe give up a future one to get their pick. And if that and that's a good scenario. But also I could see a scenario where they can draft Obi Toppins, and then at the end of after the lottery end, was it 15 to 20, whatever it is, they can trade back in the 1st round and still get a point guard. The kid from France, he suffered an injury and they set him back. So if you can trade in and still get him, and he slide a bit, which he expected to go in the 20, 22, 24 range, 20 range, and you can get him, hey, you got your point guard of the future. Sayoko, know him, he from France. You got Obi Toppin. So you don't have to take a point guard early in this draft. It's just so deep at point guard. The thing that you want to get right in this type of situation is you want to get the right guy. You know, you don't want to say, oh, I want a point guard, and then you pass up on the Edwards or you pass up on the Maxey, and he goes on to be the next best thing, or RJ Hampton. You want the best guy available when you pick him. You know, when you pick for need, you end up with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. You end up with Greg Monroe. You don't end up with Devin Booker. You end up with Stanley Johnson. So the evaluation process is critical here. So I'm not saying it's LaMelo or bust or it's Edwards or bust. It's just the right pick or bust. And only time will tell. RJ Hampton might be a diamond in the rough. You know what I'm saying? But with Lavar already, canceling Golden State out, he still hasn't said nothing about Detroit. So, I think Detroit will be a great fit for him. I think any of the people that come to Detroit that's here, it's a great fit, even if they get Edwards. You don't have a two guard. Luke Kennard is injury prone. If they want to take Wiseman, some people argue with somebody in the last Piston chat. Oh, Christian Wood isn't a center. He isn't the center. Okay, you get Wiseman. Wood and Wiseman can play together. They both athletic. And as we speak about Wiseman, that seemed to be the guy that Golden State is honing in on. There's been talks to Golden State may trade to get Miles Turner, from the Pacers, because they can't afford Brogdon, and bless his heart, he got the coronavirus. Malcolm Brogdon, one of my low-key favorite players. But they can't afford Sabonis. They just paid Turner not too long ago, just paid Sabonis. They can't afford Victor Oladipo, got a contract coming up. And they can't afford Malcolm Brogdon all at the same time. And Jeremy Lamb is making 7 figures as well too. So, you can see a situation where they might take Miles Turner and turn around and take another guy. But if we sitting right behind the Golden State Warriors, the chances is they don't want to deal with LaVar. You know what I'm saying? You can't have LaVar and Draymond in the same category, in the same team. So that helped out the Pistons, and I'm happy. We one step to getting them. Now we got the 5th best chances in the lottery. The lottery is supposed to be August 24th or 25th, excuse me. So we got the 5th best odds at getting LaMelo. Usually the NBA does us no favors. I don't think we ever had the number 1 pick. Highest we had was 2 of our own pick. That was Isaiah Thomas. Then we had a second pick with Darko Milicic that belonged to Orlando. It was top 1 protected. But to keep going, he basically was saying that his kid don't need to learn. You know what I'm saying? He's special. He can go out there and learn on the fly, basically. He don't need to sit under Clay. He don't need to sit under Steph. He need to get out there and play because he's a special talent. And usually most number 1, players get out there and play unless you like Ben Simmons or Blake Griffin, you suffer injury. So I can see that in Pistons. He have a lot of opportunity. My only issue is Dwayne Casey. And people are like, oh, why you don't like Dwayne Casey? Just the way he carried himself last year. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have the smarts to put Christian Wood in when he had Dre here. Dre will get in foul trouble, or Dre will take a break, and he would just steadily try to make Thon Maker into something that he wasn't. He would play Thon. He'd play Christian Wood pretty good, and Christian Wood would come out there and have a good fabulous 10 or 15 minutes, and he'd bench him for the rest of the game. And you're like, what? Why you keep playing Thon Maker? Thon Maker running out there doing absolutely nothing every now and again. And I wanted Thon in Detroit. He'd make a good 3-pointer, and that's it. He'd have a nice little stretch every 10 or 15 games. He only played Christian Wood when he had to. And when he played him, he gave him opportunity, then things took off. Another reason I don't like him, the way he did Diambo last season. Oh, he was just talking reckless about him. Oh, I think he needs his help, and he's dealing with this. Hey, man, don't put my personal business out there. And it just goes on to what you hear in Toronto, that nobody liked him. And I can see why now. I don't think he's a good coach. I watch his offense and his defense. I can coach better. They don't even run sets in the NBA no more. Only guy that's really running sets like that is Popovich. Most of the time it's Harden or LeBron, going 1-on-5, or what I'm saying? It's just NBA. You had to experience really NBA basketball in the 80s and the 90s, in the early 2000s to really appreciate it. But that's just my opinion on it. But LaVar pretty much Xing off Golden State. Let's see if he gets to Detroit and say no, or whoever else. And maybe they don't think Detroit going to get high enough to get him. But in the lottery, anything can go. But, I just want the right pick. I'm not stuck on LaMelo like this is Zion or this is LeBron or whoever it is. I just want the number 1 pick. I just want the number 1 pick before we picking that. I want the best possible choice. And like I said, don't rule out, picking the guy in the top 5 or getting up there and trading back into the into the draft at the bottom half and still getting the point guard. So we'll see how it boils down. I'll put that article link in the description. He was talking to the Say Less podcast or something like that when he said this. So, hey, so that's one team we ain't got to worry about. But I do, if anybody like James Wiseman, Detroit, I do hear that the Warriors locked in on Wiseman. So if they take Wiseman, they won't be trading for Turner. So Miles Turner could be headed somewhere else. in the NBA. But hey, check out our Detroit Piston playlist. Check out our Piston 101 playlist for live streams, and our power playlist, power stream playlist. Where we combine Lions and Piston talk. We did one last night. Appreciate the love, support. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Reach out if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video questions. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Share the video with Cash App, PayPal description. Don't forget check out the channel out, Goodfellas Sports TV, for more sports music, news, entertainment. One time for the one time. Y'all know what the business is. And let me know what you guys think about the video and about LaVar comments. We gone.